We're at Vidcon 2017 with Rhys Noelke, head of strategy at RTL Group, based in Luxembourg. So we are at Vidcon, everything about YouTube, for 3 days. And RTL is, of course, one of the older TV and media companies in Europe. What is your view on your position compared to YouTube as a company?
Well, I think as RTL Group, we've taken quite a strong position on YouTube now. These days, we are one of the leading suppliers of content on YouTube, and I think we are reaching roughly 25 billion video views per month. These are kind of really obscene kind of dimensions in terms of reach and audiences that you can actually reach on different platforms today. Video is everywhere. We've got the total video strategy, that's how we call it. And within this total video strategy, you have to embrace these new platforms, and YouTube is one of them. And I think Vidcon is a great place when you also look at the original in Anaheim. That's kind of where, the thing where the heart is beating of the community on YouTube, and where the thousands of creators are meeting tens of thousands of fans, and you just see, that's where it's happening. That's the new type of entertainment. So for RTL, it's kind of obvious to be having to play a role there.
Because Google wants that role as well, right? They want to, contact with the creators, etc. So how do you see that with that? It's kind of competing as well, yeah, what you're doing.
Of course, there's some kind of a competition there in terms of who's managing the relationship and who's also adding value. And I think that's something that a media company has got sort of in its DNA, on how to develop a talent, how to extract the value also in the commercialization. And I think that's for a free-to-air broadcaster, that's very much on what we've been doing for decades. And things are changing, and I think also the ecosystems are only not one Google. There you see Facebook now coming, Snapchat. They are kind of one video tsunami after the next, really, sort of emerging and coming across it. And you need to manage this. And this is not only one talent, one platform. It's one talent, multiple platforms. So I think you need to really sort of manage that kind of tsunamis and traction that is actually happening on the market. So I think media companies in themselves are not obsolete, not at all.
Because Facebook is not sharing revenue at the moment. Do you think they will in the future?
I think they have acknowledged this, and when you talk to them, they actually know that premium content, good content, will have to be paid for. I think at the moment it's more a practical kind of element to it on how to manage that. They don't have the systems yet to actually have a scalable solution. I mean, monetization is already happening through branded content on Facebook and on Instagram. YouTube has kind of put and set some rules into the market, which have not really worked across the board if you look into the media sales part, but it's still the beginning. We are heavily invested in broadband TV, StyleHaul, DiviMove here in Europe, and if you manage the economics well, you can do a business out of it, but it is kind of very slow, and we've heard this here today at Vidcon, and you hear it at any YouTube event. There's always a lot of moaning and groaning that it's not good enough and not working well. I think you can actually get some cooperation also with YouTube on the road. We've done some tests now very closely with YouTube on how to extend the monetization to our sales houses. We've done a test here in the Netherlands as well, and it's overly positive. Yeah.
And what do you think of, sort of in general, the democratization of media in terms of creators that create their own content, and your position as a big media house with a lot of overhead, etc. Do you see that as well? How are you going to solve that problem?
I think it's not a problem really, because when you just raised the question, I was thinking about PewDiePie, sort of make a studio, then getting out, being or thrown out or whatever, and I just kind of say, well, didn't we have these examples in the music industry as well? I don't know, was it Madonna or whatever, who sort of had a huge discussion with her label and then went out and back and forth. I think we're going to have this with key talent, backwards and forwards, as you had it on TV channels. Talent moved from one channel to the other. I think there's not a big kind of novelty in this. We know this game.
Yeah. So you're investing in content makers or multi-channel networks who don't want to be named like that anymore. What will your investment be in the coming next 2 years?
I think as I explained, we're thinking about it as a total video ecosystem, and we started with short form, and YouTube was definitely the first platform to offer that. I think what we're seeing now is multiple platforms going to vertical video, going even to 360 video and other areas. I think what you will experience is really in the future, there's going to be a multiplex of video formats that you will have to cater for. And that's why I'm interested in. I'm looking into what are the bigger kind of trends there, and what's happening on the over the top, what's happening with long form as well.
Yeah. So film.
Well, film, no. I mean, I think it's a more like a long form, long timer kind of dwell time kind of experience where TV has been so dominant over years, and where you can just see that people actually want to have a long, let's say, entertainment time that they actually want to sort of be engaged with. And I think that's still not, on online video, that's not quite fulfilled yet in terms of recommendation, stickiness, etc. That's still kind of, there are things that are missing to actually make it as comparable as TV.
And what do you expect of the sort of on-demand video versus, streaming and like linear? When will be the, in how many years will be watch more on demand than just linear TV?
I think if you look at the markets today, maybe the US is the most advanced. I think with 20% on-demand viewing of the total TV usage. I think it's maybe 15% in UK, but it's much lower in Germany, for instance. I think we will kind of reach a saturation point in terms of the traditional TV and the on-demand viewing. I think what we will see is at some point there will be a turnkey event around what kind of offer is it. I think people will not actually distinguish anymore what's linear and what's non-linear. It's actually going to be on one platform, and if I want to watch a kind of a 2 or 3 hour kind of documentary, or it's 3 or 4 episodes of that, and do binge viewing, I will do it, but I may click and mix sort of on demand and live events. I don't want to miss my live news, the most current news. On the other hand, I also want to watch my favorite crime story when I have got time for it, not when it says 8:15 the show is starting.
Okay, clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.